Greetings and welcome to SmartWatchTicks. We have done a couple of really good and in-depth reviews on two of these watches, the KINGWEAR KW88 and the LEMFO LF16. Since they use very similar software, as you're about to see in this comparison video, we thought it might be wise to show you the two watches together side by side so you can decide which one of these you'd really like to pick up if you're drawn to this type of a watch. By this type of a watch, I mean you're looking for a standalone Android watch that runs the Android 5.1 operating system. It uses a quad-core processor, and it's the large format, like almost 1.4 inches, with a 400 by 400 pixel AMOLED AMOLED display. This is the KINGWEAR, and look at the specs. One interesting thing to note is the RAM and the ROM. It's got 512 megabytes of what they call RAM, which is really internal storage. This is the place where your apps live when you install your applications on here. And ROM is 4 gigabytes, and that's not really ROM either. 4 gigabytes is like your external memory, but you don't have a way to put in an external SD card. So it's kind of the other part of the partition where you can put your music and pictures and videos and things like that. All right, this supports a camera with a 2 megapixel camera that's software interpolated up to 5 megapixels. And it uses the micro SIM card for all of your connectivity. You've got on board all of these things, and it uses all of these network connectivity topologies. And that is the KINGWEAR KW88. Now let's contrast the KW88 with the LEMFO LF16. This watch uses the same quad-core processor, roughly the same speed. And check this out. Its ROM is 8 gigabytes. Again, that's the external memory storage area. And the RAM, or the internal memory, is also 512. So right off the bat, we see that we have twice the amount of external memory, not external by SD card, but external internal memory to store your stuff on. But the same amount of internal memory to operate within. It talks about being 1.2 centimeters ultra thin. We'll look at both of those in just a moment. And it's got the same display, same size, same pixels, same Android operating system, 3G support. This is a nano SIM, whereas the other one was a micro SIM, it said. So neither here nor there unless you're SIM conscious. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, GPS, and all of these things. And it says that because the operating system uses 2 gigabytes of memory, the rest is free, which is about 6 gigabytes. Now, that means that on the KW88, with it only having 4 gigabytes of that memory available, 2 gigabytes being taken up by the operating system, that you're going to be looking at, only about 2 gigabytes of available space, whereas this is going to have 6 gigabytes of available space. That is not necessarily the space that you will be able to use for loading up apps. As you've seen in my demo videos, when we load these puppies up, you run out of space for apps to actually run in because the partition that they live in after they're installed is small on both of these, 512 megabytes. Be nice if it was 1 full gigabyte, but that's not in these watches. Nonetheless, they're both hot watches. This one's got the camera going for it. That's really cool. This one doesn't have a camera, but it's got a really nice design and the ability to just pop the back out and put a SIM card in real easy. So you can take the SIM card from your phone, move it in here without undoing any screws, and take your phone with you out and about. And then when you get back with just your watch, you take it out, put it back into your phone, and you're good to go. That is a nice benefit. On the KW88, you got the same feature, but you got to have a little screwdriver with you. So you can't quite do it on the fly. However, with the screwdriver, it's going to fit nice and snug, but we wouldn't call it waterproof. You still want to be careful not to get it very wet. Another good thing about both of them, the speakers on the side. Many of the watches, the speakers on the bottom or somewhere funky in the band that doesn't really sound loud. The sound is nice on both of these. It's a bit louder on the LF16 than it is on the KW88, but nonetheless, it's coming out of the side, which is a good place for the sound to come out of. If you're going to put your arm up to your ear, it's nice to have your ear where the speaker is, right? They both use a simple cable for charging, and they use these 4 little connectors to hook it onto, and they're very similar in size, possibly even interchangeable. They both use the two-window feature for doing your heart rate, which means there's one laser diode pulsing and the other one's a receiving port that picks up for your heart rate. So they use basically the same concept there. The bands are both silicone based. This one, well, take a look at it. It's nice, sturdy, functional. You don't want to twist too much up here where the antennas are. They're not removable on either of the watches, okay? This one's a little bit more airy. It's got holes in it, breathable, and as you can see, the designs on the face are a bit different. On the KW88, you've got bold writing in white around the outside. This happens to be gold, but you can get it in the black or the darker color as well, which would be more like this. On the LF16, come back here. I guess I'm upside down. On the LF16, we are looking at a much more subdued band. It has markings on it. It has a little bit of writing, white writing on the inside, showing the 5-minute increments, much like this one has on the outside. So it's kind of up to you, here they are both off, as to what you like in terms of appearance of a watch. What do they look like on? Kind of like this. There it is off. Okay. If we fire it up, there it is with a watch band or watch face. Let's try and grab something different. All these are custom faces here that have been installed on this one, so I don't want to mess you up with those. Let's go back to the stock watch faces. Something like there's a nice colorful one that shows off the AMOLED display. The flickering you see on the screen is an interface issue with the camera and the watch. It does not look like that in real life. The camera happens to be, I think, cycling at a little bit faster refresh rate than the watch is right now. But there you go. That's what this one looks like. The little dot is an external app that I've added. If you've watched the other videos, you know about that. Just wanted to show you what the watch looks like. That might be a little bit too intense. Let's take it down a notch. Show you something. I'll tell you, this is a nice one that I like, is their analog watch. They only have one like it right here. The other watch face you saw, that's a custom face. Some of those are installable, some of them aren't. Look for the video on the KW88 watch faces, custom watch faces. There's links in there that you can download specific watch faces for both of these watches. The techniques are the same, the watch faces are the same, the process works the same. And that is the LF16. On the KW88, oh, by the way, you notice when you flip it up, it gives you that time in its own little format. Hello, you're on camera, KW88. There you go. If you touch it, it'll fade right into your watch face, which is not stock on this watch. This is another one of those installed ones. So let's go back to the stock watch faces here. You see all of these when you go into the actual demo on the watch itself. So if you like busy, there you go. You got the numbers, within the circles, with digital, with analog, with the whole works. And what does this one look like on? Well, pretty much like this. I got some side lighting so you get some illumination for it. They're both about the same overall look and feel. Of course, in the gold, you're going to see a little bit more of the reflections of it. And the sport band with the holes in it gives it an attitude that's a little bit different. In terms of deciding factors, that's probably the start as to what you like in the look and feel. Then you got to kind of figure, well, they're the same size, same screen. Do you need a camera? Do you want a camera or not in it? And then if you do, the KW88. Do you want more memory in your watch? And if so, well, the LF16 has got more overall memory. You got 8 gigabytes in this one, but you got the camera in that one. That it would be nice if you had the memory to hold. Magic. Rub them together and get higher of everything in both of them. Well, it doesn't work that way. Decision point. Let's take a look at the operating systems. How do they work? When you slide down, he says down. All right, let's go left. You want to go left? I go left. You get notifications in both of them. If you slide down, you get that display. I'm not going to go into detail because they're all covered in the reviews. I'm just going to show you. that the operating system pretty much looks the same. And when you slide down, you get the weather information. When you slide over to the right, you get the your apps. And the apps right now are in one of the 2 display modes. This is circular, where each of your apps are on different pages, like so. On this watch, I have a lot more specialized apps installed, which don't come with it, but this is basically your stock watch over here. And then one more over, you get your music display. So let's take a look at the apps. I'm going to go first into settings, which is a different icon on each of the watches. You have your sound stuff, and that's pretty much basic. You have the ability to adjust everything. And you've seen these in all of the other videos, so I'm not going to really mess with this much, just show you the differences, one of which is in the display area. Here in display, you see that this watch shows you a wallpaper thing where you can actually choose a different wallpaper if you want, and you can set that. This watch doesn't. The KW88 doesn't have that feature right there, but all the rest of it is there. The brightness, the sleep time, the font size are the same. And you really don't see that wallpaper except occasionally when you're bringing up, like clearing out your apps, stuff like that. Let's go back into the app style, which is the same on both of them. I'm going to switch back to list version. Makes it a little easier to see. Your connection section is the same. Your mobile assistant is the same for tethering. Your gestures are the same for screen on raising or turning off and on the pedometer services. I'm going to turn it off to save battery. But I like the screen on raising, which is where you see the time when you twist your arm. Okay. Power savings, all that's the same. So you pretty much have the same operating system across the board with tiny little differences on both. Languages input, date and time, resetting the equipment, uninstall, and about the watch. You want to see the details on these, then go into the reviews on each of the apps separately. This is a LF16 and a KW88 running Android 5.1. Those are the security patches, the baseband versions, the kernel versions, and the build numbers on both of them. And again, the flickering that you're seeing on the LF16 is just an issue between the camera and the watch in the refresh rate. I'm not seeing that on the watch when I look directly at it. They look identical, just like when you're looking at the KW88. So that's not really a factor to worry about. It does not look that way. Okay, that's the business about the settings. Oh, come back here. There we go. Whoops. There it goes. That one switched. I guess they were in the process of switching to the proper display of the apps, where you have contacts and phone, messaging and settings, remote capture, a browser, a calendar, the clock, the gallery. In this case, it's got a camera because you have the camera on the side, and then the gallery. Oops, went into that. Okay. Then music, then your remote control, which is remote music play, sound recorder, file manager, find me when you're tethered, your health section, which is going to have both heart rate and pedometer. So the operating systems are really the same between these two. I slid the brightness slightly. This is another one of those external things I've installed. The health, the weather, your voice search, the Play Store on both of them, even the app ordering is the same, and then maps. And after that, it gets into the specialized things that I've installed on both of them. Those are the core apps. So the apps are the same. The operating system is basically the same. The watch faces are slightly different of what comes with each one. However, you can install custom watches on both of them using the same technique that you do on the KW88. It works the same way on the LF16. So your decision points are, do you want a camera or not? Do you want more memory or not? Do you want the leather band to look like this or that? The size of the watches are the same. The thickness, well, look at them. They look about the same, you think? Is this one a little thinner? It's really hard to tell. I guess you could get a little I'm going to hold them even to each other. There you go. Now measure them on your screen. That'll tell you if I got it lined up just about right. Okay. Everything else is the same. The speakers are good and loud when you play it. It's a little bit louder on the LF16. Now you have enough to know which one of these two you want. I hope that helps you out. Thanks for watching.